So this video is going to help you learn how to navigate a little bit more through your resources. So for starters, if you click on your resources tab at the top, it's going to actually automatically open you up to your home resources in your personal collections. This is your home page, if you will. So all of the files that are in here, you will always have. Schoology will never archive these. They're always going to be there for you to access and to use. As a matter of fact, anything that's built in your home resources, you can actually push anywhere else or move anywhere else within your Schoology account, or even onto the students' accounts through this page. What you might want to also consider is over here down the left-hand side, you're going to see that you can actually add collections. Now, let's say that you are a math science teacher or even a reading ELA teacher, or you teach social studies. You may want to just start by creating a collection based on the content that you teach. So imagine, if you will, a file cabinet, and in that file cabinet, you have different drawers for that file cabinet. Those drawers hold different collections of material, whether it be math, science, social studies, reading, language arts, if you will, any of those subjects that you teach. If you add a collection, you simply click on it, name it, create it, and it adds it as a collection. Now, for us, I'm just going to go into the math collection that I've started. You're going to see that I already actually have a couple of things located in here. Once you click on the collection, you can actually add as many or as little resources that you want through Schoology. So by clicking on the Resources tab, it's going to give you quite a few options that Schoology offers, including adding a folder. So let's say within that math collection, you teach a whole area or content on geometry. So you would simply type in geometry, give it a color if you want. You can even type in a description, and then you can create it. And then what it's going to do is it's going to create an entire geometry folder. Now, if you want this file someplace else, you can actually click on Options. You can reorder your collection, and now you can move this someplace else in your collection. And now always hit Submit at the end, because that will save your changes, and now your changes have been saved. So now if I go into geometry, I can click in geometry. Let's say there's a link that I want, or an activity or an assignment that I want. So now I'm actually building my folders within that collection of geometry. So when I'm completed that folder, let's just go into number sense because I already have something in there. Let's just say that this is something that the students want to see, and I've got other resources in here. So imagine, if you will, you're building your resources for your students' course. And every time you start adding something new in here, you're kind of building what you want it to look like for your students. So let's say you're finished, you've built the entire number sense folder, and you're ready to give that to your students for their course. You simply come over to the gear, you will click on the gear, and then you get some options. Now, of course, in the edit is where you can edit what it looks like. You can add it to a course. This is the one where you're going to add it to the student courses. Copy to. Now, if you hit copy to, it will actually make a copy of that file or folder or collection even someplace else in your Schoology account. If you move it to, you'll actually move it from one place to the other. So it's not going to make two of them. It's only going to make one. It's just going to move it. And then, of course, you can delete it. But for our purposes today, let's just focus on adding it to a course. So once again, remember, you've got everything in here completed. You've got it looking like what you want the students to see. So at this point, you're going to click on Add it to a course. Now, once you add it to a course, all of the courses that you teach or assign to are actually going to come up in the courses. And you can add it to 1, 2, or as many as you want by simply clicking on the course that you want to add it to. Let's just pretend I'm going to add it to both. Once you click a course, it's going to actually narrow it down even further. It's going to say, where do you want to add it within that course? So that's when you would click on a folder. Now, if it's a completely new folder for the kids, you would just click None, and it's going to bring it up on their folder. If, let's say, it's a document within a folder that you already have created on Schoology, you can click there, and you will narrow it down even further. And once you have it put exactly where you want it, you click Add, and it will move it there and make a copy for the kids so that they can see it in their course as well. And that's how you navigate a little bit with your resources. So kind of imagine, if you will, you're building the resources for your students in here. You've kind of got some information, some assignments, some activities, and when you're ready, you just push it out to the kids by using the gear. And so you can push it to the students by just adding it to the course, and you can move it into their course. Let's say you've updated your course or your resources in here, and you already pushed, let's say you pushed the number sense out to them already, but you added another resource in here. You can actually click down into the file. You can narrow it down to individually add specific resources to the kids. So you don't have to add the whole file. You can add as much or as little as you want. And that's kind of how you navigate a little bit through your resources. Just once again, imagine it's a file where you're going to add and create all these different ways to get there and the different resources inside that you can actually send to your